Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this Saturday morning in Memphis, Brownsville, Jackson, and all throughout West Tennessee, down to Grenada Lake, Jonesboro, Arkansas, over to North Little Rock, my hometown. You can pick up Outdoors with Larry Ray, and of course you can go to lroutdoors.com. Or if you're in the Brownsville or Jackson area, they're streaming live 24/7 at Brownsville Radio and News Talk 101.5 in Jackson, Tennessee. So we're talking outdoors. This is the February 24th show, which means that Bill Cooksey of Vanishing Paradise is here and probably the last time he's been here, more paradise has vanished. If we got into that, which we will a little bit later, of course. Being the fourth Saturday, Ron Wong is in. This is not bonus Wong or anything like that. He's just here. We're going to talk now with a guy that Ron, I know, looks to talk about the popularity of kayak. And our good friends at Traditions Media, these other folks that we know, at the boat show last weekend, of course it is a boat show, they had more kayaks than I've ever seen at the Memphis Sports and Boat Show, which is 55 years worth. And, it's amazing what things have come. And I know this guy's coming up right now. He's got a lot of writing credentials to him, and he's now part of the Traditions Media outdoor team. But at the same time, I think he likes to fish. So let's bring in Jay Anglin. Good morning, Jay.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
We're doing great. How's everything in North Indiana?
We're wet. We got a lot of water up here, boy. I'll tell you, these rivers have been blowing their banks this week.
What do you think we got down here, man? I mean, I just saw coming in this morning. I saw a boat pulling a car. I mean, this is bad stuff.
It's about that way now.
It is that, but glad you could be with us. And I know our good friends at Traditions, the kayak. Talk a little bit about the evolution of the kayak. You've been fishing for a long time, and know you love the sport. Where kayak has come and where it is now, and where is it going?
Well, I'll tell you, as a fishing guide that's had drift boats and power boats and all that, when I lived on Lake Superior in Marquette, Michigan, I always wanted a sea kayak.
Uh-huh.
And, it just wasn't in the cards. I couldn't afford it. And I kind of forgot about kayaks. And when I started working for Traditions and started playing around with these Old Town kayaks,
yeah,
I was absolutely blown away at the fishability. Everything is ergonomic, and it really takes, as a guy that's fished and done just about everything, I think, and this is part of the allure for so many anglers, including guys like, Kevin Van Dam. I mean, people like that have fished, done everything.
Yeah.
It's another level, that's something that we haven't done, and it really puts you in that, right in close with the fish. It's more intimate, and frankly, for fish that are pressured, you just cannot beat a kayak for getting in on fish that are pressured.
Not only that, Jay, but affordability in terms of all the fishermen that don't want to stand on the bank but can't afford a big bass boat or even an aluminum boat.
Or the things to pull it with.
Or anything to pull it with and everything else. Now you have a way that you can get out and really enjoy the lake. At a price that will fit your wallet. And it's pretty amazing.
It is amazing. And, the other thing, it's not just economically feasible, it's also logistically feasible. So a lot of people that live in the city or people that live in a neighborhood with a covenant that they can't store a boat.
Right.
And you can transport one. Let's face it. You get the right rack on just about any vehicle, and you can physically put it on top and take it somewhere. It's pretty remarkable, and I think it's headed in. We're in a great spot right now with it, and the popularity has grown immensely over the last 5 years, and I think it's going to get to the point where most avid anglers are either going to want one, or they're going to have one, or at a minimum they're going to do it once or twice and borrow a buddy's. I mean, it's that popular. It's incredible.
And one thing you mentioned earlier, you kind of casually mentioned about Old Town, and we think of Old Town as canoes. Mm-hmm. Because, its background and everything like that. And I still like a canoe. I've dumped it I don't know how many times I've spilled myself in the Buffalo River in Arkansas or someplace
It's
like
also
that.
hard to keep up with your stuff in a canoe. You
Oh,
break
really?
your rods.
Really?
It's a mess.
Yeah. Well, you're making me feel better now.
It's
you
a
know?
mess.
Yeah.
Unless you fish in a canoe all the time where you
Yeah.
learn your own little system. But
Yeah.
And these kayaks today
They're,
a
he,
different
he,
world.
he mentioned
it's
a new
totally
word,
different.
fishability.
Yeah.
Mark that down. I don't think that's ever been said on the show in 17
It's
years. We got a new word.
ergonomically.
Fishability. He did say ergonomically. You know.
Yeah.
That's. I like Jay to use words that we don't often use down here in the South, Jay. But
Hey, spell them.
that's spell check it's called. But no, we're talking to Jay Anglin. A little bit about the Man Knows Fishing. He's the media guy and the writer for our good friends at Traditions Outdoors Media, and talking about kayaks because I've been kind of I've gone back a long way and seen the inventions and the evolution of these, and you can see that at the boat show we had here last weekend.
Absolutely.
Jay, big ones, little ones, 2-person, 1-person, and the ability is what's his name next to me here was
George.
George. As Bill was saying, is not the affordability. He did say that, but also he said about the transportation of it.
Right.
Absolutely.
If you have a bass boat, you have to have a big truck. If you have even a John boat, you
even a
need something
John
to
boat,
haul
you
it
got to
with.
have. Yeah, and you know these kayaks today. We've seen some pretty big men get in there and go fishing. Our friend Jackie Smith. He's not a little boy.
No, he's with a rival company, but we can move Jackie in there because he loves
Just talking about kayaking.
Kayaking right now, and I know that when you see it, you talk about now we have tournaments, we have circuits, don't we, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. There's tournaments popping up all over, and they're very well attended, almost over attended in some cases, because these organizers don't expect the turnout that they're going to get. It's popping up all over. The amount of media out there in North America dedicated to kayak angling. And you go back to where it's headed. For example, you talk about big guys. I'm over 250 pounds. I'm a big boy. I get in an Old Town Predator PDL. I go duck hunting in that thing. I put my dog behind me. I strap some decoys on the front. A gun,
Now you got Bill going now. Yeah.
And I'm paddling this thing back into these marshes where really, frankly, it wasn't that feasible before.
Right.
And you can either sit in it or you can get out and use it as a sort of a platform to set your stuff. But we do that regularly. But as an angler, okay, it's so specialized now with rod holders and places to put electronics, bolt them to. There's plenty of space for all that
in
stuff.
a kayak.
Got to have it.
In a kayak.
Yeah,
you got to have
and-
electronics.
I mean, but look, 10 years ago, a kayak with electronics. What was that? A generator and a
Well,
light bulb in the back? I mean,
Jay was talking, and you guys are talking about these tournaments that are coming out all over. There's one coming up at Kentucky Lake
yeah,
here
Kentucky Lake.
that they're expecting over 550 anglers.
Come on.
550.
That's
Think
crazy.
about that.
Yeah.
Scanning
that's
ledges.
Insane.
Yeah.
And
this is partially why you have to have electronics if you're going to do that. But that's how fast this sport is growing, kayak fishing.
Well, Jay, you're in the Midwest, we call it up there, and you're in some land that ice fishing and all that kind of stuff is available up there. But the kayak, let's talk about affordability. Now, Ron, I'm a pretty cheap person. You know that for a fact.
No, you're not cheap. You're just frugal.
Yeah, I'm frugal. Yeah,
cheap.
Yeah, I'm cheap. I'm cheap. You can go online and try to buy you a kayak, and you'll say, well, and it'll pop up there, and it's got all these bells and whistles on it now. And I said, well, put it in the back of my truck. There goes my trailer. So the thing you're talking about, affordability, as you said, you just knocked out the bass guy, the bass program. We saw Mark Rose the other night, the bass fisherman. He had this huge trailer. Yeah. Oh, man. He had this big truck.
Mm-hmm.
The kayak guy, Jay, doesn't necessarily require. How long is the longest kayak? What are we talking about length?
well, you get to 16, 17 footers. But again, while I use a trailer because I'm a trailer guy, I got a trailer for everything, But
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying we can't use trailers. Don't get on my trailer fence coming after me here, but
Right. No, but you can. You could, obviously in a long bed it'd stick out the back a little. In a short bed it sticks out a little bit more. But you flag it and you make sure it's braced and strapped and you're legal. The thing of it is too. You talk about bass guys. You talk about bass boats, Big John boats. These things, a lot of them fit right in another boat. So let's just say you got to run 10 miles with a big boat, and then you want to go back up in some creek for crappies or bass where you just can't get the boat in because of the brush or what have you.
You got a
You can take your kayak with you. Yeah.
Now that's I got to see. That I got to see.
Well, I mean, I ain't saying, but I'm just saying, as you guys say down there, right?
Yeah.
Just like the diver hunters with layout boats.
Yeah,
they do the same thing.
Exactly.
With the layout boats.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that you've opened up. Now I'm visualizing things here, and I can just.
Larry's going to have Ron haul him out in the bass boat.
No. So what would you recommend, Jay? And we got about a couple of minutes here. If someone's interested in getting into kayak fishing now, give them some tips.
Well, you can take any old kayak and go fishing out of it. But about the second you fish out of it, you're going to say, boy, I wish I had one that held, and then one that would do this and do that and the other thing. So, you might, instead of jumping in with, the cheapest thing you can find on sale at the big box store, you may want to save your money just a little bit longer, buy something a little bit, bigger, a little more accommodating, something a little more specialized. But that said, don't let that stop anybody from doing it. I mean, get started. The one I have is tricked out, of course. I mean, I got all the bells and whistles. But the other thing too is now we've got kayak tackle storage that's specifically designed and created just for kayaks. You've got the Plano soft crate.
I was getting ready to say, the soft crate by Plano.
Yeah.
And the one that's really specialized is the V crate, which is going to be coming out here this spring. I can't wait to get one. It fits in the back. It has everything ergonomically positioned so you can easily access it.
Amazing.
You can customize it a little bit, and that fits right in there. And these are, these things are a little over $100 for the V crate, and the soft crate I think is coming in around $50. And all of a sudden, you've got a system that is as good as anything out there. I mean, you're not. Let's face it. You're not standing up. You don't have a trolling motor with tons of electronics, but you've got everything you need. You're a legitimate fishing machine that you're sitting in. So that's my advice. Don't skimp. Do it right, and then you won't want to have a boat. I mean, I know guys that have literally sold their boats, and that's all they do is fish out of their kayak now.
Wow, that's not Bill, though. He still wants to go up Kentucky Lake and roll that big engine. What do you got?
I like the roar, but the kayaks are pretty dang cool.
They are cool. Hey, Jay.
No reason you can't have both.
That's right. Jay, we appreciate you being with us, buddy. Right. And tell everybody Traditions hello for us, and we'll stay in touch, okay?
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys, and I really appreciate it, and we'll do. Take care.
Thanks. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray and be right back.